evening and welcome. I'm your host with the most surreal. And welcome to Inseparable Bonds. Tonight, we are proud to be joined by a very special couple. A very unique couple. A couple who have merged together and made one identity, preferring to be referred to as one. Odd. What? Well, you know, they used to be known by their friends as Gary and Rena. Now they're known as Garena. So, you, people put your hands together for Garena. Hello, Garena, and welcome. I'm delighted that you've accepted our invitation to grace us with your presence.
Hello. Happy to be here sharing our story with you today.
So, tell us a bit about your former individual lives and how you two both met.
Well,
Let me see now. In Rena's former life, she used to walk our 4 cats, Eenie, Meenie, Miney, and
Mo, regularly down past the Sainsbury's supermarket, by the Angel tube station in Islington. It was during one of these walks on a Sunday when suddenly...
Minnie got squished under the wheels of a Sainsbury's trolley. Now, the person pushing that trolley was none other than Gary, who was working as trolley boy on Sundays. Gary picked up the
twitching kitty in his arms, eyes wide open at the horror of what he had done. He told me to hop into the trolley with the kitties, and off he pushed me.
Breakneck speed to the nearest vet. So that's how we met, and the rest is history.
So, did the kitty live?
No, sadly, we had to let poor old Minnie go. Although she still lives with us. Gary had her
Stuffed and sculpted into a graceful and regal stride, thanks to the nearby taxidermist.
Joshua was his name. He really was great with his art and managed to capture her unique character and integrity.
In fact, all 4 cats are now with us in this form. They are so beautiful to look at, captured forever young like that. The only blemish to this is that
Poor old Mo's tail keeps falling off.
we've tried many different glue types. Nothing seems to work.
Yeah, so what were your favorite hobbies of old?
Rena, having a penchant for the odd, used to enjoy sticking tampons up.
Gary's butt and setting light to them. She got a wee bit carried away with this fetish, and soon enough those little mousies were being superseded by...
Fireworks.
Right, interesting, indeed. So, what things, if any, do you particularly find off-putting about each other's post-operation selves?
Selves.
We like to be addressed as the one, so please avoid the need for
Differentiation. It is ultimately your own inability to see past your own prejudices that makes you see us as
two.
Yes. You touched on some interesting points there. Just then. Now, do you see yourselves as gender-specific, i.e., do you identify yourselves with and feel akin to a largely male or female ways? Also, what are your thoughts about marriage?
the gender thing.
I was wondering when you were going to get to that. We, as the one, ultimately, intimately embrace all notions of the masculine.
And feminine. So, I guess we represent a chosen merger of
The two. We are ultimately beyond the need to identify with these qualities in terms of segregation. We embrace the two models as
playful parts to the whole.
rising above all notions of gender and duality.
So, does that make you spiritual?
I certainly have plumbed the depths of certain books and schools of esoteric thought pertaining to the idiom you call...
Spirituality. Does that make me spiritual? No. I repeat, I do not like
to be tanked like a side of beef. That sort of tagging, so common to our Western psyche, is born of
Laziness. The laziness of mind that comes from
intolerance, ultimately stemming from a fear of
change and a deeper all fear of the greater, lesser unknown.
how brittle the human ego is.
Freedom
Like the sun,
blocked by storm clouds and bliss.
like ripe fruit covered by a swarm of fruit flies that you cannot swat away.
These ever elusive goals plague the minds of the smartest smarty pants.
Right, so, is your dream world...
The question is
The answer.
So... What do you...
silence! Stop yapping!
Listen,
Not with your ears, but
with your entirety. Feel yourself expand within that golden silence.
let go!
How we fear that awkward silence.
The pregnant pause,
The yawning void.
that ever full emptiness,
Feel the self pulled delightfully to pieces.
to expand beyond your own reference points, encompassing the all.
Infinite space. Free of all our self-imposed borders.
No need for property and a fence to protect us from that.
Big bad world.
No real estate. No confined homes to nest our needy bones in.
Beyond all time and space karmas.
Immersed eternally in that great silence.
Suspended in serenity.
Within that great silence,
That perfect pitch.
the resonance that animates all life.
Okay, well then. Now, the question on everyone's lips is why?
The aim and gain of our natural drive to evolve brings us to a point of
Surrender. To surrender the fight, the resistance to change that creates disharmony.
destruction. The limited I that refuses to acknowledge our
In our selfless calling.
Garina sought to embrace the wizardry of modern science to allow for our dream of deep union. The marriage whereby the once male Gary and the female Rena are now united as
The one. Femininity and masculinity.
in true marriage.
Bonded by the power of our love. In accord with the greater
Universal laws of love.
as a living template of the inseparable oneness.
So, tell us, what's it like to know and feel and dig the goldmine of knowledge that must be available in knowing and how the opposite gender thinks and feels? You are, after all, a kind of man-woman cyberpunk transsexual. Of sorts, perhaps. I mean, you are a freak.
Seeing,
Is believing.
believing what
You are seeing is complete madness.
I do not appreciate you taking the piss for the sake of
Buttering up your audience. Next question, please.
try to make it an intelligent one.
No harm intended, sorry. Next question. Do you find it hard to get around? You know, has your operation jeopardized your freedom of mobility?
Say what? In short,
No!
in fact,
Thanks for the reminder.
I really must fly.
Got places to go.
Seeds to sow.
I'm off to see the
wizard!
wizard! Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Yahoo!
You work it out.